Daniela with Bestie Life, and today I get to talk to Amber Curtis from Solutions for Simplicity. In addition to her business, she is a professor, a busy mom of three. She integrates scientifically proven technology into her programs. I'm so excited for you to get to meet her, so thanks so much for joining us. Hi, everybody. This is Daniela with Bestie Life, and today I'm with Amber Curtis from Solutions for Simplicity. Hi, Amber.
Hi, Daniela. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to share a little bit about Solutions for Simplicity and what you do and some of your background personally and professionally.
Awesome. I would love to. I am a professor by day, a mom to three young little boys, ages 7 and under throughout. And then I started Solutions for Simplicity a year and a half ago after implementing so many big changes in my life that just made such a difference in helping me balance it all. And I know that we all view balance as this elusive thing, but I struggled so hard when I first became a mom to balance work and family. And I finally reached some very low points and then decided, you know what, I've got to make some big changes. I applied my academic research skills to really delving into, I'm just a nerd this way, but I delved into the literature, what science says and what studies have proven make a significant impact in helping us better manage our time, be more productive, and find more joy in the life that we're living, because there's a lot that we can't control. And I found that the more I was trying to force things to be a certain way, the harder it was. All of that is a long-winded way of saying that my mission now is to help other busy moms live a more purposeful and productive life and really determine what their priorities are so that they can comfortably say no to the things that don't matter and then get that much more done and stop using time as an excuse. They can really go after their dreams and build the life that they love while finding fulfillment in their existing commitments and role as a mother.
That's fantastic, Amber. I love that you take such a technical kind of literature-based approach, because I think sometimes it is overwhelming to figure out, where do I learn this stuff? Where do I find it out? And I think that's good for everyone to hear, like it's okay to go do a little research. It's okay to look this stuff up because it's not ingrained into our DNA what to do.
Right. And the self-help industry or the personal growth and development industry is massive. And so many people have wonderful things to say, but I really wanted to know kind of a proven order in which to change things and what would actually work to make that difference as quickly and effectively as possible. Because a lot of things can help, but we might also just be shooting darts at the wall and nothing is sticking unless we are implementing this sort of package of changes that are going to set up the foundation for our success. And so that's where I do think I have some really fun and unique and helpful things to share.
That's great. So how would you say you personally now find your bliss? What do you do that makes you happy?
Since starting Solutions for Simplicity, I fully admit that this is my creative outlet. This is my wonderful opportunity to connect with other like-minded moms. And I get such joy out of seeing people who are struggling like I was and still do, right? But who are determined to make their lives better, and they implement these changes, and then they too do see incredible results, and they realize that that they can go after what they want, and they can be fulfilled in their lives, right? That they don't have to put their lives on hold while they are raising young children or trying to keep up with the demands of their job and so forth. I, of course, really am just in love with my family and my 3 young kids. So I've wrestled with mom guilt a lot. Being a working mom was never something I envisioned. It's a long backstory, but I always thought I would be this stay-at-home mom, and instead career doors opened long before kids came into the picture. And so, getting to spend time with my kids and prioritizing that as quality time, quality over quantity, perhaps.
Right.
I find such bliss in just forgetting the outside world and getting down on the floor, playing with my kids, doing silly dances in the kitchen, just, really mindless things that help me remember not to take myself so seriously.
Anything that you do that's just yours outside of the home?
No, I mean, most of my bliss is the stuff that goes on in my head, the words that I love to write and express and then put into Instagram or my YouTube videos, and then the content that I make and share through Solutions for Simplicity.
Yep, and we'll definitely have links to all of those as well. And it's kind of like you reminded me of the quote while you were talking. It's like, find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And that's what it sounds like. Like you have truly found, you guys can't see because we're on podcast, but she is just smiling as she talks about all this, because it really does just light you up, which is great.
I have a similar quote I loved. I believe it's from a gentleman named Mr. Money Mustache, but he says, work is a lot more fun when you don't need the money. And I mean, let it be known, I still need money. I still have bills to pay and need to put food on the table. But what I do for Solutions for Simplicity is more about giving back and trying to serve other women, because I know all too well how painful that struggle is when you're stuck in those dark places and you can't see a way forward. And so I just, this is such a great thing that I'm blessed to be able to do now.
Right. Is there anything you would say kind of still stresses you out?
Obviously, yes. I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Okay.
So I have a very natural tendency to take on more than I can chew and to underestimate how much I'm capable of doing. Things seem so easy in my head and so clear as to how I would do them, but I run up against that reality that there are only 24 hours in the day, that our energy and productivity cycles really fluctuate according to lots of different things, and that, I am first and foremost a mother. So, saying no has become something that I have to get a lot more comfortable with. And even though I'm better at it now, I still really struggle with that. And it is stressful for me when I have a lot of deadlines, a lot of things that I've committed to, and somehow life has come up and I'm not as on top of them as I would like to be.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Like, you're already doing such amazing things, but
I don't know.
a big dream, like knew it was a guaranteed.
I would really love to be a motivational speaker and travel around, or just get to interact with more people face to face, which is so hard in this COVID era. But I'm so grateful for all the media, outlets and avenues, the technology that we have to do things like these podcasts. But I love face-to-face interaction, and I would love to just meet people, hear their stories, and get to work with them and help motivate them to make their lives better.
Yeah, I think that connection part is definitely one of the harder areas, I think, for all women, and just people in society right now to have maintained through all of this, so definitely I think having that awareness that, we need to still stay connected and use technology is definitely a great reminder for everyone.
I am late to the social media game. I, for years, was very adamant that I didn't want any part of it. I still am not on Facebook. I never had Instagram until I started Solutions for Simplicity. And then my YouTube channel is also quite recent. And part of the reason that I always avoided social media in the past was because I do care so much about the personal connection. And I had witnessed how much society seemed to change, with the advent of the internet and social media. And I didn't want to be a part of that. And now I recognize how beneficial it is and how many opportunities it can afford us. But at the same time, there is something about personal connection that we can't get through technology. And, I just am always very mindful about that balance between the good things that technology and social media can do for us, and then the reality that we need belonging and love and connection and inclusion with real people in our lives.
Absolutely. But I do love, we just met a couple of weeks ago, and I love the opportunity of all the great people that we've been able to connect with through social. So if I could kind of like peek behind the curtain and just give people a sneak peek, like what do people think you maybe have together that you don't feel like you do?
That's a
I know
great.
we all put this image
Yep,
forward.
let's air it all out.
If we're gonna peek behind, what do you got?
Yes. I think that people, I do give a lot of productivity advice. I'm a pretty well-known planner, and so my expertise is in helping people better manage their time to get more done and do more of what matters, right? So productivity is not about doing more, but it's being more effective on pushing the needle forward for the things that are very instrumental to your happiness and your success. And at the same time, then I still struggle with time management myself, and I have missed deadlines in my job as a professor, right? I have a lot of big things come up, and publishing is a very big part of my job. So it's like in my mind, I have all this time to work on things, and I do a little bit at a time, but there are inevitably moments where it still comes down to the wire, and I can still pull all-nighters. I hate to do it. I don't recommend it. It's not good, and it's not
Mhm.
something that people should be doing. But at the same time, for a variety of reasons, the dirty little secret for me is that I still sometimes just run up against that deadline, and I have to push myself to get it done or miss the deadline and face the consequences. And so, as much as I spout all this great time management advice, there are still times where my time isn't managed as well as I would like.
Well, we're all human, and that's the thing. It's like we want to, present these options and these great solutions, but also share that, we're all people and nobody's perfect, and balance isn't about perfect. And, helping create that connection through just being ourselves and being vulnerable. So thank you for
Sure.
sharing that.
Yeah.
So, what would you say are the three things you're most grateful for? What I like to call people's three G's.
I am so grateful for my husband and my three boys. I just always dreamed of having a family, and for a while it looked like that wasn't what God had planned for me. So I'm just now so thankful. I just look back at the timing of everything, and I can totally see God's hand in it all, and it just makes me all the more grateful that I have them now. So, of course, family first and foremost. I am secondly grateful for my education.
Mhm.
I I just feel incredibly blessed that I was taught to love learning, and the process of learning, as opposed to kind of achieving a certain outcome. I think the more you learn, the more you realize there is to know. And so I just have this insatiable passion for finding out information. And I'm very lucky that my entire college and graduate educations have been really helped, and I've received so much financial assistance to make that possible, because my family didn't know how I was going to afford to go to college, and I never would have considered graduate school unless some of these opportunities arose. So I don't take that lightly. I feel all the more called to give back, because so many people have helped me to get where I am.
Mhm.
And so I'm so grateful for that assistance, and so grateful for my education. And then thirdly, I am so grateful for just the chance to try and make a difference in the world. And I am
Mhm.
laughing, right? You can see me smiling, because I know that sounds really trite.
No,
But at the
not at
same
all.
time, I know that each and every one of us has gifts to share, and has their unique talents and abilities and struggles for a reason. And then trying to work through that journey ourselves, and figure out how we can take all of that and turn it around to give back to the world is just a really incredible thing that I'm in the middle of discovering these days. And I love it.
Yeah, no, I think too, I don't think it's trite because I think we don't realize the impact we have. You make one person feel better, they go in turn make three other people feel better. And it really does have that kind of butterfly effect of really expanding and making a difference. So, no, I think that's awesome. But definitely being able to reflect on what we're grateful for is such a huge part of self care, as you know. And so, I think definitely being able to touch on all these areas helps everyone see that it is possible to have the good, the bad, and the ugly in every single day.
And then from my perspective, as an academic researcher, I've spent a lot of time looking at how tied gratitude is to not just financial or professional success, but to our physical and emotional health, to our relationships or the quality of relationships that we have, and just to overall life satisfaction. So, promoting gratitude and urging your clients or urging everyone out there listening to focus on what they do have and find things, no matter how small, that they're grateful for. It's proven in the literature over all these different studies that just being prompted to recall what we are grateful for helps us instantly feel better, and then over time adds up to such better markers of success in all these areas of our life.
Absolutely. They say, your heart rate instantly drops, your shoulders kind of relax, like everything does instantly kind of take a shift down when you do that. So that's great. So I'm going to definitely be sharing in the show notes Amber's links. She's on YouTube, Instagram.
And then I have a website, solutionsforsimplicity.com. I would love to share with your audience my free Pinpoint Your Priorities workbook, if that's okay with you, Daniela.
Absolutely. If you want to send me the link, I'll include that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, it's a 20-page workbook that helps people who have more to do than time to do it really hone in on what is truly most important and where to focus their time and energy, and then give themselves permission to let go of all the other things, at least temporarily, so they can get that snowball effect going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amber. It was so great to talk to you. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Daniela. Have a great day.
You too.
If you liked today's episode, if you can please leave me a 5-star review on Apple so that Amber and my other guests can be heard by more people. Please leave me a DM and let me know any questions you have, as well as head on over to my website, take my free self-care screening so that you can start your own journey in finding the bliss in your busy. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.